Yes, welcome back to ESL Pro League Relegation Day 2. Today we're going to have Virtus.pro fighting to stay alive. They could very well be relegated to Premier at the end of the day. We have Big and we have Hellraisers fighting for a spot into the Pro League, and obviously such a momentous occasion requires my very best denim. I am joined, as always, by the Beaver. And Platypus was good yesterday, but I think you're kind of forcing the issue here. The turtle, I guess it would be.
The turtle works.
I thought Lauren was the turtle.
I know, but I mean, what are you going to do with this?
Can we just?
So it's great to see everybody that Jason is getting ready for Dallas by channeling his inner Texan and dressing up in denim.
Oh, I see what he's doing.
So he's just getting prepared. He's
ready.
getting acclimatized. He knows that the finals are coming in. He wants to be on his best form, so he's getting ready early.
For all you aspiring analysts out there, this is the kind of preparation that is needed to become one of the best.
What, do you know someone's the best? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Mountain Dew League. If you guys haven't been paying attention all season, this is the league, the division directly below professional. It's a direct line into the professional division. Teams have been competing all season long for a spot in these relegation matches. We've had Godsent from EU already qualifying. They're taking the place of Kingwin. We have Penta and we have Big fighting for their spot. We'll see them tonight. And it's Hellraisers and Virtus.pro who ended the season towards the bottom of the standings in EU Pro League, and that's why they are also here. A little bit surprising, you'd say, with Virtus.pro. But either way, yesterday we saw some matches come out, and even if they're going to surprise us even more, Virtus.pro dropped a Big.
2-0 as well.
Yeah.
That was... Oh, Chad's got a... Here we go.
It wasn't super convincing, you know, like we sometimes see Virtus.pro just like crumble and fall off the face of the earth. It was, they looked timid to me in the way that they're approaching their CT sides especially. And Big, you know, they would just execute heavy. I think if Virtus.pro played with a little bit of disrespect, treated them like the level of team they are, they probably would have run all over them. But I think due to recent results and maybe the pressure of the situation, we didn't see the vintage VP or close to the land VP that we know, you know, as a shadow of themselves.
They are on boot camp right now. You'd think they'd be getting a spring together.
They just got there. They got there yesterday.
Give them a couple days.
Yeah, let them warm into it.
So you think that this is all fine?
This is the day.
Yeah,
this is the day.
I'm all good. I'm all good with VP.
Okay.
I know they can come out of it.
All right, fair enough.
Either way, one thing we did see, obviously, was Hellraisers was very impressive. I know, Chad, you talked about this team is looking very, very good, building off the performance they had in Kiev, and obviously towards the end of Pro League. This team yesterday looked very solid.
I think they were the most disciplined team I've ever seen in an online game in a 5-on-1 situation versus USP.
He's done it.
Yeah, that was insane.
Wasn't it? They're all just holding in playground/party, waiting for the last guy who was 100% on eco to find them with 30 seconds left in the round.
USP.
It was like, I like it, like I'm getting behind it, but maybe they're taking that a little bit too far because they were already like slaughtering them at this point. It's like, come on, guys.
Hey, they're fighting for relegation.
If you're going to be disciplined, you might as well be disciplined for the whole thing, right?
Well, if you're going to practice like that, then you can become a great team.
Excellent, excellent. Wise words from the Beaver. Either way, if you guys missed it yesterday, we showed some of the highlights. This is the results and the schedule that we're going to have for today's matches. Hellraisers beat Penta 2-0. Virtus.pro fell to Big 0-2. The winner's match that we're going to have today is Hellraisers taking on Big. The winner of that gets a spot in the ESL Pro League next season. The elimination match is going to be between Penta and Virtus.pro. The winner of that goes to the decider match. The loser of that is actually eliminated from this relegation bracket, so they will not be in Pro League next season.
So they go down to the Premier after that, right?
Yep. Or the Mountain Dew League, I believe it's called.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Season 25.
Season 25.
That's a lot of history there. How many seasons did you play in, Jason?
Of ESEA? Actually, not many. I think I've only played in like 3, because before that it was CAL. Cyber Athlete Amateur League. Yeah. And then there was CGS, and ESEA didn't come back until after CGS when I'd kind of stopped playing. So I played in a couple here and there.
Okay. Cool.
Rolling back the years, episode 2?
Episode 3, I think.
Yeah, I think it's episode 3.
God
Do you guys know that turtlenecks actually originated as protective wear?
Protecting from what?
Well, I assume like when you would be it probably would have been made out of maybe Kevlar or something, like metal of some variety.
From your mother when you come home with hickeys?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You never know.
But the most
invented by the teenage boy.
In recent times, the most notable people to ever wear turtlenecks are not only Henry G, but also the Wiggles.
That's true.
What are the Wiggles?
Well, Jason.
An Australian
Here we go.
kind of dance troupe, I guess.
Dance troupe?
Children's entertainers.
They're children's entertainers.
Yeah.
They're legendary.
Oh, this looks like your version of the Crosby
They look a bit creepier now.
Yeah,
these days now
they got old. They got
not good.
Can Henning?
If you're at home,
can you bring this up? Do we break copyright if we bring this up?
I don't know, but you know, let's not confuse production here. If you're at home, just Google the Wiggles and you'll see it. I don't know what to say about that. Let's move on to the first matchup that we're gonna have.
Let's do that.
It is well, actually let's talk about Virtus.pro really quick because we touched on them a little bit. Do they? I mean, this is surely not Penta. Surely. That's all I got to lead into this conversation.
Are we talking about PENTA?
Virtus.pro.
Let me start by saying, you know, I saw some good things from them yesterday. There were some strategies that they were applying to situations which I haven't seen out of them until this point. I think they're obviously doing a lot of work. They're in that prep period now, coming into they're going to have ESL 1 Cologne. You know, the majors coming up. These are big events for these guys, and they are some of the biggest game players we have at the moment. When they get on the big stage, they show up. Online is where they obviously struggle. We've gone over that 150 million times.
Yeah.
But for last night, it wasn't like I touched on it before. They looked timid in their CT approach. If they were a little bit more aggressive, Henry, I think they could have had some success.
I think you're absolutely right. They actually warmed up towards the end of that first half. They weren't as assertive as usual. They weren't taking the aggressive peak. They weren't gaining map control on the CT side. They seemed like they were playing so passively, trying to have those crossfires on the bomb side, getting overwhelmed by that execution style play. It was really weird to see them actually respecting their opponents so much, considering they're up against a team like Big. Yeah,
that's the weird thing, right? The level of respect there. When you know that you are a better team in general, you would say you would be much more confident in yourself, right? But because it's a high-pressure situation online where they maybe feel out of that comfort zone, out of that, you know, pressure environment, they were more scared of this, or maybe it just looked like they were more scared. They might not have been. Maybe that was just their approach to the game. But against a team like Big, who were just doing set executes, that was a mistake. Did
we see something out of PENTA that's? I mean, they weren't exactly a set execute kind of team yesterday.
Well, the thing is, PENTA, they just got off the plane, and it was a bit of a rush to get on the server.
Yeah. So you think we're going to see a better PENTA today?
I think so. Like the star players didn't really turn up there. Sunny and Zen primarily. We expect Sunny to be their superstar. He didn't really turn up yesterday at all. Zen was at the bottom of the score with like 3 frags after the first half, I think, as well. I'm hoping they've kind of got things together and actually give them a good game today. On paper, this should be an easy game of Virtus.pro, you would assume, but all signs point to this actually being quite a closely contested affair.
Yeah, I was looking at the map history between both of these squads right now, and it's very difficult for VP to pick into a weakness, I'll say, for PENTA, because a lot of PENTA's like map statistics are in the positive. They are obviously playing against lesser teams. They're not playing against like big dogs like the VPs of the world all the time. Yeah. But they have, what, 5 out of the 7 maps are in positive win ratios. The Nuke is a 50% win ratio, and then Overpass is the only map which is, you know, not good for them. And if I was them, I'd probably just ban it.
Well, I'm so glad you actually brought the maps up, because guess what, boys? Yeah, we're going to get right into it. We're going to dive right into it.
Juicy.
We're going to have it. Nuke and Cash banned.
Okay. The thing is, for me, the veto shouldn't really matter too much for VP here. They can play almost all maps. Cash, pretty standard ban for them overall. Coming in with VP starting on the CT side of Inferno. We saw that yesterday as well. That's where they struggled. That's the map we were kind of referencing the most there as well. Their CT side, they looked like kind of cagey. They didn't want to go for the aggressive peaks, and they were constantly, every round they won was getting reset afterwards as well. It's not until the last 5 rounds they got it together. It was actually a 9-3 at one point in favor of the T side. They got it to 9-6. It was a decent game overall, but yeah, they really need to sort that out today and actually start playing like they usually do.
Yeah, let's quickly compare the win rate of both of these teams on Inferno. For VP in the last 3 months, it's only 28%.
Sure.
For PENTA, it's 100%.
Yeah,
I know it's less than teams,
but
if you have a 100% win rating on a map, right, it must be pretty good.
Well, I imagine it also helps. I mean, yes, and one of those wins, by the way, was in the grand finals of the Mountain Dew League that they were just at this previous weekend. That was over Big, who will beat Virtus.pro, obviously. But I think you have to look at that and also say PENTA probably watched this match this morning. It was just like, we just got to see perfectly how Virtus.pro is going to play. So we just saw him play last night. Go over the demo, maybe pull some things away from it.
Do we think PENTA are going to have that sort of kind of execution style we're seeing from the kind of lower down teams?
Jason can tell us.
Yeah, no, I don't. That was kind of the big takeaway for me from their T sides at the Mountain Dew League was just very, it's like closer to like 4-1s where they go. They like to stay pretty grouped up and just have one person. Not even like map control. I mean, it didn't even feel like map control. It just felt like someone who's like on a certain other part of the map just to watch the flank just for the first 20 seconds while they walk to a bomb site. Sometimes they do a little bit of a set execution. Sometimes they do a little bit more of just like a contact play. But yeah, it doesn't seem that complex and not nearly as structured as we saw Big yesterday.
Yeah, so the CT side, as we touched on, was a problem for VP. If they're not going up against the set execute side, like you're saying, PENTA aren't really like that, then you're not going to see as many issues. They were not going to get faked out as much. And something that I really did like, it was VP's T side. I actually pulled up a clip, which we've recorded, and I can show you a little execute they've done. This is rolling back the year's strategy episode 1. They've actually turned this one. This used to be in the
spin-off.
In early Inferno, they used to run a strategy just like this, where they would do a wall of smokes along the pit, and they would.
I did like this.
Yes, but they would push the apps player out into the smoke to jump up onto circular/castle graveyard, whatever you want to call it, and frag from there. This wall, they've done it the same, right? So the whole point of this is these smokes kind of chain together that you can jump through them or can't be seen from the site. Snacks is going to come out, clear the balcony, jump into the pit, and this is what they did in a 3-on-5 situation. They were able to get full pit control. They didn't win the round from here,
Yeah.
You can see
Was
how
a 3 on
effective.
5,
But
yeah.
it's quite a cool idea, isn't it? Just going for that full pick control, because it's such an OP position. In that sense, when you have you establish that control, it doesn't really matter that you're not on the bomb side, right? You've got so many great angles at that point. You're just isolating that player that might be in the pit there. You could have 3 coming out. The smoke's giving you a veil from the bomb site and arch yourself. So that's really cool. Get there, establish control of the pit first, then go to the bomb site.
Two interesting things about that tactic that I actually took away just from that replay is one, Snacks being able to line up that Molotov into the smoke. It seems like it's a simple concept. Seems like a simple thing to do. You can lose yourself pretty quickly inside the smokes. Also, I mean, I remember that strategy used to be ran with the player running, through the smokes and jump through it. And I guess maybe that broken wall is just too much of an obstacle that teams they maybe didn't want to mess with it.
Yeah, because before what you'd do is you'd be able to get to circular pretty easy, right, and then jump up from there. But in this kind of scenario, you've almost completely isolated the site. You can just run out and clear that balcony with pre-spam like he did, because that player will be flashed. He's flashing into the first smoke, and also Bialy, he's quickly flashing through that new kind of open area in apps that bounces off of a chimney and flashes pit as well. So with that Molotov and those 2 flashes, everybody on balcony or pit should be completely blind, so you're able to run out and clear and not have to worry about being tricky. Whereas old pit, you were kind of able to dodge flashes. It felt like a little bit easier to hide, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this new one, once you use that Molotov and the flashes, they're screwed.
Now, that's a good way to end that. They're screwed. Now, with VP, part of the reason why we saw them go so down on their CT side early on was, I mean, you mentioned it yesterday in the post game, was the economy of this team, and they just in the situation where they just didn't have the Molotov. I mean, the counter nades obviously for when the executes come in, but also no utility with which they could feel comfortable being aggressive to kind of try and prevent map control from coming out. Is that something that you need to just kind of force the issue if you don't have the nades? Like, is that something where you just say...
You do need the nades to actually establish that control. That's a big thing of it. Obviously, we talk about throughout the ages of Inferno, having the smoke down the bottom of Banana, being able to push down there and establish that control first, and then there's leaving 1 player there potentially once you've kind of negated the rush potential coming in. Without the nades, it's really difficult to really explore that sort of idea. You have to hold up in the crossfires and hope you can out-frag them when it comes down to the aim duels. But yeah, the economy, that's a massive problem for the CT side of Virtus.pro at the moment. They obviously like to focus on the double orb setup sometimes as well. Pasha and Snacks both like to orb on this map, and once they start doing that, they pick it up, they'll win 1 round, and they get reset. That was a massive problem with that. I think that was just down to the fact once they had the orbs, they weren't going aggressive enough with them, and the fact that they were allowing a team like Big to get full B control, all their nades, right? That's a huge problem. Then they're an execution-based team. They're doing the full execution, primarily actually doing another idea, which was smoking in front of the B-bomb site and focusing on CT spawn. They did that a couple of times, and they did variations with fakes as well. I thought that was a really interesting way to do it, and that kind of makes you almost like useless at that point. He's just stuck on the bomb site, can't call anything, can't hit any shots, and they're taking down that player in CT spawn.
Yeah, to build on that, the reason that like a team can do that, right, is if you run like a normal B take on an anti-eco, which they did, which Big did. They did a full-on smoke coffins, smoke city spawn, Molotov the bomb site, clear out all the corners, plant the bomb. Very basic, very simple to do, and a great way to make your life very easy. When you do that and you show that you have that in your arsenal, you've get full map control like they did, and you're able to do a set execute into a bomb site. If you do the transitional one that Henry's talking about, where they wall off the bomb site and push around to go into ruins, what you do is by showing that you're posturing in Banana and potentially setting up for something like that by not having any presence on the map, the CTs will expect the normal execute to come in and play 2 players in the site. You completely negate both of those players, and it makes it much easier down the line to fake off of it. And that's what we saw happen yesterday. It forced out 2 players from the A side to rotate to B with both of the normal B holders behind the wall of smokes.
What was interesting about that as well, it was Sunny that was sent in with the same smokes after they'd already shown that once. He didn't actually get a single kill there. He just showed presence. He just ran into the bomb site, and that was enough. After they saw the smokes and 1 player going in, everyone starts rotating in. Big, on the other hand, with 4 players at middle, ready to go, walks into an empty bomb site. Once the bomb was down, that was it. It was round over. That was very nice from God B, especially. You could see he still got that kind of...
that flair.
Yeah, exactly.
Tactical flair.
Yeah.
I do have another point that I want to build on from what you were saying about not having the nades and stuff to be able to do that kind of stuff, strategies. Henry, you were, I think, tweeting to players from Astralis about this in the way it's transitioning away from on the CT side, no longer having the force spies with armor and everything, maybe just going a P250, maybe a 5.7, stuff like that, and how that helps you on the first gun round. I think that is the way it should sway, but if you are going to force buy, which I would recommend Virtus.pro do in this situation, because technically they should be better than PENTA, right, is just to play those situations in a setup of some variety to give yourself the best chance. What we saw happen yesterday was they force bought, and Nia went aggressive middle with armor and a pistol and instantly died, and then his teammates who also invested are now in a man disadvantage and a weapon disadvantage, and it all kind of spirals out of control from there. So it would be good if they are going to lose pistol and
isn't that just basics, though?
It is, right?
Like, why are we not seeing it if that's such a... Because that is such a fundamental concept.
So let's go really deep right now into force buy strategies. So some force buy strategies that your in-game leader calls just allows you to be free-flowing on your CT side and potentially do whatever you feel's coming. But we don't have time for that right now because we've been told we're about to go live. So over to you at the desk, Lauren and Mitch. Manzi, the last cast for Mitch. Have a great one, mate. You can do it.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And it's also good to be thrown to by someone other than Moses sometimes. Sometimes a spicy throw in the mix is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. Yeah, I'm here with Lauren, and this is quite the game to be going into. But you got a spicy stat for us, Lauren. A bit of a pepper there.
Well, it was kind of brought up a little bit on the desk, but to kind of elongate on that, this Penta roster, as its current 5, has yet to lose this map in its inception. So, and they've played it a fair amount as well. I think they're almost on 9 wins in a row here. Now, on the other side of things, it's almost a 10-loss streak for Virtus.pro. They picked up 1 game during the Pro League, which was against G2, if I'm not mistaken. But that broke up that 10-loss streak. But this has been a very, very telling map. People go, oh, but that's online. Don't worry about it. You go take it to LAN. They're at 50% win rate. They lost, I think it was 16-2 to Fnatic out there, and I think they beat SK at some point. So, you know, quite different times to it, of course. That is including the entirety of 2017. But still, yeah, this is going to be a very taxing moment. Now, of course, stats always get to, you know, taken out of context a little bit there because, all right, VP play, you're top. Yeah, a little bit of Salt Bay there. Because you take it back into context where it's like, well, VP do play top 10 teams, you know, day in, day out, especially on this map. So pull in from what you want from that, and, you know, Penta, again, don't often play the very top tier, but they look good on this map. They seem to have this one in the, you know, a little bit of a bit of a back pocket pick that they feel comfortable on. And I think we need to change our mindset from yesterday as well, Mitch, because I saw this matchup and I was like, do you know what? This is VPs, right? We saw the games yesterday. Penta were pretty underwhelming, if I'm honest. And you thought, well, how did they manage to be big at those finals? And then you look into it, I think the Finns had some trouble getting home. I think they missed a connection on their flight. So they were, you know, literally getting in, sitting down, playing the game. Literally, you know, a 10-minute turnaround. Bit unfortunate for them.
We acknowledge this, right? We were pretty clear about this also. I think I had a particular Penta fan just make sure. I think both of us knew exactly what the issue was. We get it. We honestly do. And that's fine. And that's why it's not so bad that this is a double elimination setup. For Virtus.pro, it also means they have a second bite at the apple. But individuals weren't stepping up for Penta last night, Lauren. That was definitely one of the biggest issues that we could identify. Zen, especially, he was one of the highest flying players, especially over the weekend at LAN. And, you know, on a map that they were very good on, Train in the past, they're 12-3. So if you want to talk about map records, and that's a good one to go from, was also not good for them. He wasn't firing, but have had a bit of sleep now, Lauren. Yeah,
no, and that could be vital for these guys. Calm it down, chill out, get back into that mindset of, all right, let's grind this one through, because we saw Innocent turning up a little bit. He had a couple of good moments. Crystal had that ult going on Train. But it was just, you know, a lot of the pieces weren't working out. You know, it just didn't seem to click.
I feel like Crystal is like the embodiment of that moment where we see, like, I don't know, like a Nico with a Deagle, or, you know, a Guardian with an AWP on checkers and cash, and, you know, always go, I've seen him do this. I've seen him do great things with this. You know, so it's like every time we see Crystal get that first kill, every time we're like, he's going to do something here. But it's consistency has been his issue.
And the forever storyline that we'll always stick to is, you know, VP backs to the wall, right? But this is it. This is your chance, VP. You should not be dropping down to the lower leagues. Simple as that. They can turn up on LAN, they can do it all. They are, you know, they're major champions out there.
Look, Lauren, we'll just add a couple more slots to next season of Pro League if things go wrong. You know what I mean? No, look, even a fan vote won't save Virtus.pro if this all goes wrong. That's the thing. We're into the pistol, though, Taz. First to receive, and the entirety of Penta have made their way forward here. Smoke up, and Snacks has a quick peek and doesn't find very much.
But they've seen everything now. So the rotate's coming in. It's all about how much time can now the 2 players on that B side do. What can they kind of achieve out of this one? Sunning gets a little bit aggressive, gets caught on the reload, and can't really do much more. HS is still a bit of a thorn in their side. Tech 9 and armor, bomb now planted. Zen and Crystal don't have armor. It's all HS, and he needs to really wake up here. That wasn't all that good, if I'm completely honest. Now, Crystal in the 1v3. At least they got the plant, but Taz staying alive as well, doing quite nice with that. Snacks buying a bit of time there as well. Got everyone round towards the site, and the diffuse is going to come through.
Yeah, HS was the raid boss in that situation as well. Tech 9, and he had the armor. Unfortunately, it was a headshot that caught him out with the USP, and he wasn't able to get too much more done. They're the situations where you really want to hope for a bit more. So, with that being said, it was still a bomb plant for Penta and Virtus.pro to take the round. They will be buying back in pretty darn fast. And again, we're looking at how aggressive, or perhaps how, you know, passive they're going to be playing on the CT side, because as it was mentioned on the desk, this was one of their undoings last night.
And the strange thing was originally, and it was when Neo was over on Banana as well, it was a little bit of a different look to Virtus.pro. They were very aggressive, very attentive towards pushing down, you know, towards the bottom of Banana, being very much in your face against tier 1 teams. Now, of course, their record doesn't really say much to that sort of effect, but at the end of the day, it was a very nice way of holding B, and we didn't see much of that. They were overrun. They didn't have that utility. They didn't have the money brought up maybe they felt comfortable with. Hopefully we see Virtus.pro that mindset of, we are champions here. Let's not play to any other caliber than our own. Ignore who we're playing against. Let's go through the motions. This, though, from Penta looks like a set piece just to maybe get them a bomb plant coming through from apartments. But Pasha could undo this before it even begins.
Yeah, I mean, he loves to take the Mag 7 up on a, a non-full buy round himself, and now he needs to do some damage. First shot connects, second one not so great. The pistols eventually cut him down, but it's the rest of VP that chime in from defensive positions here to receive and bend with the wind. It is Penta coming through.
Yeah, Bialy's positioning then in Graveyard was absolutely paramount to that round because Pasha was a little late on the, responding to that.
His second shot, he really tried to prime that.
Yeah, so that was a little bit unfortunate, but Bialy really kept that safe, and you had the support coming in as well from, I think it was Sight with Neo there. But we do see the buy coming out now from Penta, and it's far from perfect. A Galil and a UMP, but they wanted to get that utility. They wanted those mollies into play. We've seen that they have a very diligent B hit coming through before. We know they can do those, a bit of a molly kind of carpet, but they've used one towards the top of Banana. We're going to see the deep nades and the deep mollies coming out, and I like this. I like an attentive side towards Banana. You put the pressure on them. Don't let the T's get much for free.
And another molly even coming to force Penta further back. Snacks and Taz taking a little bit of damage there from mollies themselves, but they have the control that they seek so dearly, so often here in Banana. Taz takes additional damage, though, from shots coming through the smoke. Now he needs to behave himself.
But this is really good. Although there's been a lot of utility expended, they still have the smokes up on Neo and Taz. Taz being a little lower, needs to be careful. Still going to do the old boost there. It's a little bit of a hindrance, I guess you could almost say, once it got worked out very quickly before, but maybe they're going to find a way to play this one out a little bit smoother between each other. But Penta's plans have been a little bit put on hold here. They've had to kind of reconsider every option because they looked like they were really vying for that Banana control. But getting that denied, all right, let's take over Raps. Not so contested these days, I guess. We did see Pasha up there, but still, not as much as it used to be. So now Innocent and Sunny have that, and you can see the slow grind of trying to take over Banana again begins. By this point, though, VP are almost out of utility. Just that one smoke now and a couple of flashes.
Yeah, one would hope that Penta in some way would have been able to just keep track of exactly what was used in Banana, or at least to a degree, and know that perhaps they can make a later push for it here. So they're going to smoke up on the corner.
They finally used that last smoke on B as well. So now HS, Crystal, and Innocent, they can probably work this out. I'm pretty sure there was a pretty early smoke before from Snacks, I think it was. So again, this could all be very worthwhile. And Pasha's actually moving away from B. This could be a problem. But Snacks finds a corner and just sprays down, finds Crystal, but it's go time now.
The smoke not quite covering over the entire aperture there, and Taz is able to back away comfortably. Snacks to back up. The two players were stacked there. And Sunny's going to fall as well. Interesting that they sort of try and sneak Crystal in there early, especially when Penta had done very little across the map to dictate any sort of rotation of VP over towards A. Crystal kind of just faced the music and was cut down very quickly.
Yes, and then maybe trying to get that little late lurk on through and, cause a bit of a nuisance for any player trying to push off of A, trying to support towards B. Anyone, hanging around late. We know that Neo does that a lot. He'll kind of be sometimes the last man across and have to play that kind of position out. Didn't work out, obviously. VP keeping 5 alive, well, not 5 alive, but, keeping a lot of the players up here. Looking good overall. Minimal reinvestments.
They've had one death in 3 rounds, so close enough, I feel. That was Pasha, actually, who fell over on the balcony earlier on. So pretty clean stuff from VP now. And again, it's an exercise in Banana control. For Penta, they need to peel that one away, but it might be a focus towards mid. It's a molly thrown early. The smoke at the top there, but Pasha's caught out by Sunny. Not bad. It's a good opening here for Penta. Only have the pistols, and now that recovered rifle here for HS, but Bialy receives, cuts him down, but it can't find the second. And it's just wave upon wave of Penta breaking on VP.
This is a little bit costly now. If they take down Neo, this is really, really problematic. Now, you can see why Crystal committed. If they'd managed that, you could have got the bomb through. They knew that there was maybe the flank coming around behind, but Zen's still alive and he's got an M4. So there could be something here. They know where Neo is, or at least he had an idea where he was. Might hear the drop down towards site as well. Not 100% sure how much sound Neo made there, but he's going to play this one safe. Play the site, play the time, and Zen now slowly creeping out. So many angles, so much danger afoot, and oh, he's guessed it perfectly. Neo goes down. It's a 1v1. 55 seconds to Taz is all the way over at B.
Yeah, but interestingly enough here, Zen didn't make a very quick play to try and plant the bomb at A. He might even try to cut someone off in mid. This is very interesting, actually, and quite clever. Taz may well be forced to turn tail and head back now. The question is, when does Zen feel like he's comfortable enough to walk? Okay, now he's going to run. So he's making sound all the way through, but it's none to be heard. And Taz can't be too sure about this A play. It's been quite some time, about 20 seconds elapsed since Zen was last there, and now he's going to have to come back.
All right, plant time. Let's see Zen's after plant position as well. Taz has to just play back into this. He's got a smoke too. Zen, where are you going to go? Now, Taz hasn't made much noise. I'm pretty sure maybe a teammate called and helped Zen out here because he's facing the right way now. He's a little. It looked worried about Banana initially. Now focused up. So the bomb's actually planted very open. That's good for his position now. Taz, try and find the fight ideally, but there's so much threat here.
Given where the bomb is placed, well, I feel like given where it is relative to the site, it's actually a little bit more towards the left here. That sometimes indicates that the player is going to be awaiting Banana. So the smoke is correctly thrown. Now Zen has to respond. He's made a bit of noise here, and he's fired his weapon. This could be quite dangerous. Taz's going to skirt around the outside. Zen gets up on top with 3 points of health, and that's Penta getting their first round of the half and match.
4 kills for Zen as well in such a huge round.
What was saying last night?
Yeah, he was not present Zen last time. You know, we were waiting for these individuals to show up. You know, everyone hopping on about, you know, Sunny's got this huge potential. Zen's there, you know, all these guys. HS, the, you know, next Rops in line, you know, the Estonian powerhouse that's coming through, this up-and-comer. And now maybe we're going to see a bit of that. But that's the first little bit of a glimpse, again. And
that was a round where they bought PT50s and had a UMP for Penta. That's extreme value, especially in the way they've managed to keep a lid on VP's economy as well and get the round. Now it's 5 AKs to come in. Crystal especially is yet to find a frag. One accusation we used to level at him is that he didn't do too well without the AWP in a lot of cases. It didn't suit his style. So we'll need that in the coming rounds.
T-side Inferno as well. We know it doesn't suit many. Taz now forced out double molly, really crisps him up here. HS, fancy. HS, please. You put the mollies down. Know where they are. Snacks, though, on top of the fountain. I think HS saw this, but yeah, pre-fires his way out of there. Doesn't really fancy the fight with Snacks. I don't blame him, but there you go. Getting VP to expend that utility is what they need to be doing. They still have the smoke on Taz, still a flash as well, but they're grinding them down here. Still a lot of smokes up on Penta. They've got enough to build whatever they need out of this one. We'll see where they commit to. They forced Bialy to play over on the rotate, though.
With that smoke here as well in front of Bialy, he has to rely on the information from the rest of the VP players at the side. Unfortunately, they don't know too much either, and this smoke is far from convincing. It may allow Bialy to play back in against anyone trying to sneak through the gap, but not now. The smoke's being placed down. HS is going to be able to continue to waylay Bialy. This has to be the hit from Penta. Good flash. Snacks caught out in the open now. Forced to get back in the corner. Takes a lot of damage as a result here. He has to play back in. Finds HS, but it's Zen and Crystal all about it. A nice entry.
He was quick on the rotate. That's it could have been a port, but no. They expected. They were watching. They were quick to even think about that one.
They were cognizant. They did throw a second smoke over towards the CT connector, just in case.
Wow. That's unnerving, isn't it?
Well, you've got 2 players up on that side. The flash catches Taz right out in the open. He takes damage, he's forced away. So theoretically, in that space of time, Penta only have a couple spots to check. They trade out the one player sitting in new box. Totally fine. Really clean.
And to be fair, I don't like the second box position. I don't think it's complemented all that well by new box either. I think you can make a nice crossfire piece, but I think they were rushed, they were hurried. I don't think Snacks could have adjusted all that easily either. You kind of got punished for that, not being in that prime position. Because you know that the crossfire you can set up on B is so hard to get through. If you have 3 players especially, Bialy wasn't there quick enough to get into that spot. He was still quick, but...
Yeah, that's hard mode when there's 3 players there.
The thing is that the VP's money has been depleted. They do have that rifle still, and Neo is able to keep that up. But the rest are around 2K, so you're kind of screwed on this one. But we'll see what they go for. Ideally, I doubt they're going to get anything. It should be a clean round here.
So far, minimal early aggression from Virtus.pro in the CT side. A little bit, quite a lot of utility, I guess, used early round to try and take control of Banana, for example. Not really an option here, given the complete lack of utility on the side of the poles.
Yeah, and the thing is that all good and well the first 3 rounds, right, for VP, you're starting to think, all right, they're going to feel confident, they're going to feel good about it. But then, you know, the gun round's always going to be the real important one in the back of your mind. Even when you're looking at the scoreboard, you know what's important, you know what's imperative. I like the way they're trying to utilize Neo here as a bit of a spear point, trying to find him to make some impact. We saw what happened before, bearing in mind that Penta were able to turn around when they only had that UMP and a couple of P250s. This sadly doesn't go so well. Zen's, you know, clearly he's been doing the aimbot. He's been on the warm-up server. He's been putting the time in.
Shout outs to old mate Uletical. Cheers, mate.
Yep, no worries. And good to see a UMP getting a kill or 2 as well, build up the funds. Haven't seen Crystal with the AWP yet either. And again, a nice usage of the one weapon they still have up here, bit of a boost. I prefer it when you're actually up on the box. There's no mollies actually left on Penta, but it means that you don't get burnt. So you can still do the impact. Harder to fall away from it, but still you negate that sort of threat, but still. This could be quite worrying. All players going towards this, 3 players here. VP have guessed it right. They just don't have much to really fight them with.
No, you can see that gun's getting passed around there by everyone, and no one's able to make anything happen with it, really. Pasha has the challenge with the USP, gets himself too. Okay, a little bit of something there for Virtus.pro. But again, Penta aren't that team, unlike VP, that might, you know, late round, even with 30 seconds left, to switch bomb sites there. So they had to play into a stacked site. But again, VP had very little to work with. And it's ironic how many players got that M4 in that round, and the only kills came from a USP and a Dream from Pasha on the side.
I was going to make a town bike joke, but I just don't think
I think last time I did that, everyone was a bit freaked out, so...
It's your last cast, man. So just go out in a blaze of glory. Just burn it down with you. It's perfectly fine.
We'll wait. We'll see if VP loses then.
That's true. That, yeah. This could be naughty from Crystal here. Just straight through the smoke. Oh, that's filthy. He had no one there with him either. There was no flash. There was nothing. He's found another. Molly in towards Bialy. That's going to push him out as well. This is just disgraceful. Crystal just walks in. He doesn't care. And if you're VP, you're going, why are they walking through smoke? Why are they doing this? Why is there no flash? Like, you see Fnatic do it, they do the quick flash up mid, they do it all themselves, it works out, it kind of makes sense. That was just filthy.
And what better kind of play to spearhead that kind of push than Crystal as well? One of the most bombastic players that we sort of get to see, especially around the German scene. The bomb is down and Zen's going to back away. Snax has too much smoke to see. It's time to back on away. Taz also not much to be done for him either in this position. VP have to save these guns. Their economy has just been slaughtered each and every round.
God, yeah.
You can see it there. They bought to nothing in this particular one. So this is where the save becomes that much more important. And this map exacerbates that factor of CS and economy much more, given how hard it can be to reinforce from the site. Snax and Taz, both those B players, by the time they got to A, there was nothing left of the rest of their team.
Yeah, that's just Inferno through and through, isn't it? We've seen it so often playing retake on this. Near on impossible. At least, that if it's even close to even odds against each other at all. I'd love someone to work out a stat of, let's say a full bought up two sides, right? At least relatively so, UMPs included, whatever you want. How many times are they able to pull off a retake, whether it's favorable or, not favorable odds? I'd love to see it and see how, out of whack this map might be to the others. I feel it's so tricky. Anyway, a bit of force up around the, I guess, kept weapons in the hands of Snax and Taz. You've got the Mag 7 with Pasha, that's not too bad. He's done some damage with that bad boy in the past. Neo on the pistol and Bialy the same. Taz wants to make a difference. He wants to play this out, but there's so much danger. Just down here, he's got support behind him. That was Snax, but Snax goes, and HS is the one to do the damage. 2 big kills for him, but Bialy, that 5-7. All right, there's still threat on board.
That could have been a massive problem, actually. Now, Pasha has to get up close and personal. He's got no other choice now. Crystal knows this. He backs away. He gives that weapon the respect that it requires in those close-quarter scenarios. Now it's Neo. A 5-7 to hand. I mean, there's a veritable trove of weapons just in Banana. Unfortunately, that's off the beaten track for Neo. He's going to go straight towards his site and try and take matters into his own hands.
All right, well, he kind of gave away his position by dropping that smoke through. I can imagine they know he's probably CT, but I don't think they're expecting the timing of this, and Crystal just flashed himself. But, so, Crystal's at new box, Sunny's pushed up towards the smoke, and Neo, he's a man of experience, waiting for this, looking for his opportunity. No kit, though, so timing is of the essence.
He knows his way around one of these situations, but again, so many corners to be checked and not enough time to do it. Crystal just happy to see him walk right into the net and be picked up here, and the money is flowing for Penta. You see, they had their very high value round in which they finally start to get the cogs turning, and since then it's been from strength to strength. And you can see that Snax now is going for this AWP. Pasha again, the Mag 7 tried and tested, another force in that direction.
Let's remind ourselves what happened with Big as well. The difference maker, the big factor was that Pasha with the AWP was huge. He was a phenomenal impact player, but it's Snax this time. Dan M fans are going wild. Flash comes through, turns it. He just took so much damage early on, though. He's kind of left in that cubby there, smoked out. He's going to have to back away from this. But it does mean they at least can, tender for banana control at the moment for Virtus.pro. Taz is still committed over by the sandbags. And we'll see what else happens here. This could be a very impactful play from Snax if he gets it right.
One shot will be all he needed to really turn things around, but he's quite low on health. Taz, though, nicely done. It's like playing whack-a-mole up against Virtus.pro in these situations, and Taz just pops in and gets his damage done.
Eyes towards Bialy here as well. He's been watching the push out from this point, and look at this angle. That is sweaty as you like. But now Neo playing close towards quad, he can swing around and create a really short notice crossfire. The smokes come in. There's one. Nothing else to follow yet. And now they go for it. Sunny.
Geez, that's ballsy.
Outdoes Bialy there. Just kind of, I guess, limiting the angles he could be approached from, but there's still Neo. There's still that threat up, and Pasha is still watching through from mid. Neo deals with it well, maybe overcommits towards Innocent, so now it's a 2v3. And Taz and Pasha aren't in a great position. They're going to have to play retake from this. The bomb's probably going to go down unless they make a very quick impact play. The timing, not favorable towards Pasha. He didn't see them, but he's got a great idea as to where they are.
Pasha pretty much has to drop into the pit here and try and wreck Innocent as much as he can. Or just over the balcony. It's going to be enough for him there. It's traded out. Innocent has traded a couple of very important frags here and keeps this round alive. However, he can't get out of this position. He's seen Snax go to the site. He doesn't know where Taz is going to be. This is quite risky now. No flashes, no utility. And Snax just goes for the peak prior to the defuse and gets it done.
That work between Taz and Snax on Banana early on really gave them the odds in this round. Snax just, he took the shot a little early, but he kind of baited in Taz, right? So you kind of make yourself look a little bit more like a tasty morsel. They kind of commit towards it after you've missed the shot, plays in Taz, and they didn't molly off the sandbags there. For some reason, maybe just they got caught out early. They already expended that utility. They could maybe do a little bit more of a delayed hit up Banana, maybe try and outweigh it. Once that utility is now a VP and they're really vying for that Banana control, the deep Banana control, just delay it a touch. Even if they do take that top control, you can always play it back in. We do see Crystal with the AWP, so a bit of a challenger has appeared.
We've seen him have decent success, actually, being a spearhead with the AK in a couple of these rounds prior, but now, again, there's always some pitfalls for the unwary when it comes to playing AWP on the T side of this map, specifically struggling to get good vantage here. We've actually seen really nice plays from Banana if you have a good lineup on the short wall there, just in front of Taz. But in this particular round, Snax is playing a little bit back further behind him. A lot of utility early on the round, no surprises here. VP expelling most of that here to gain an ironclad control on this part of the map.
Yeah, the thing is with HS and Zen, again, they've used their mollies, their nades, everything early on. They've got a flash and a smoke left, so it's very hard for them to get past if there was a, a very close by hold. Now, actually at the moment, VP have fallen back from this. I think Snax just boosted up Taz, so they're now going to be playing a little further back. Well, Taz is just playing anti-flash over on the top of Banana. Now let's have a look towards quality. It looks like that's where they're falling back towards. So Neo's playing very, very deep towards Pit, and they're playing the site basically. They're giving them top mid control. They're giving them a lot of room to work with. So this is quite scary.
I think it's very risky as well. We've seen a lot of teams that like to turtle sites on this particular map, and it can be really quite dangerous, especially if you have any sort of decent smoke setup here to cut Pit out of the equation. But PENTA are taking the time on this one. 40 seconds are left in the round here, and Crystal's actually heading back towards B. So this might be the first of the more of the disillusion plays. We're actually going to see misdirection from PENTA in this round. Sunny remains at A, but doesn't do too much to drum up the natives.
He doesn't need to. He's there to try and catch the rotate. They're banking on the success of these plays, and they mess the smoke up again. How are they doing this? And how is Snax able to make such an impact out of it as well? He goes down eventually, and now B is under threat. Bomb's going to go in. Innocent's there, but Bialy quickly finds Sunny. That's one threat removed, and now they can try and smother that site out.
It could have been a lot worse for PENTA hitting this site, though. They managed to trade 2 for 2, essentially, and now Crystal can come into a world of his own. Innocent waits, sees Bialy above the wall, and then just picks him as he gets around the corner. Neo thinks about the AWP for a moment, thinks against it, and now he has to play in his route. It's not the first time in this particular map he's been in this position. This time up against Crystal and Innocent. Spray down, not enough. Innocent finds him there as he tries to come through from construction, and PENTA, a very crucial round here to bring it back up. Virtus.pro are dropping guns for each other, and you can see Snax, Pasha, Taz, double eco territory. It's dangerous.
Yeah, money has been shattered here for VP. Pretty gutting for them, and you can see it, instantly aware of it. PENTA well and truly up to date on what their money situation is going to be. I've got that spray, and it's horrific, isn't it? I remember getting that, and I was just like, thank you, Valve. Way to go. Way to go. It just looks awful.
Maybe it's an omen. Maybe Virtus.pro are trying to send us a message.
To the stars. I think that's someone else's tagline there.
Oh yeah, true. There's not enough left in esports.
No, we'll find something. But still, Snack's going to find Zen early on. That's a nice bit of impact. A lot of money lost there. Sunny going to be trying to do the one to build up some funds here, and he might be in the right place for it if he gets the timing right, if he doesn't look away at the wrong time. Bialy and Neo both going for a walk, and Snack's
getting covered in cladding.
Not to do much more.
Now, Neo not seeing Sunny Bob early there kind of hurts him a little bit there. He's going to be waiting for him in to receive with the Mac 10. Bialy managed to get out after that, and HS is just going to boss his way on towards his side as much as he can.
It worries me how much they're getting picked apart here, though. Crystal's banging it out, fair enough. Pasha fancies to go through the smoke. Doesn't go so well. Maybe the flashbacks of what Crystal did to him at the top of mid there, just coming back through. Bialy's a mile away. He's recovered the Big Mac Daddy, so he's all right. Probably would want more than that, ideally.
Yeah, I think that sort of punctuates your point fairly well. And this AWP for Crystal is working out. I mean, especially in a round like that one where VP don't really have much in the way of smokes or anything to prevent Crystal from getting decent line of sight there. He was able to pick off Tads over at those coffins and make a comfortable entry into the side. This is very good so far from PENTA here. And Virtus.pro pretty much just have to sit down and take this for now. This was a round where they had to be patient. They did manage to make a fair bit happen with these 5-7s early on.
All right, so 3 kept alive for PENTA. Their money is perfectly fine, though. They're in a really nice spot with that. Overall, they've been building up well. The reset, of course, came through for Virtus.pro. It's double eco territory, so you can see that barely they have very limited funds even in this round. Again, this is the double eco coming through. They can buy up a little bit. Well, Neo can. He's going to buy to about 3K. I don't think anyone else really can. Snax as well, because he's on 3. Yeah, it's super, super limited. But it is what it is. It's what happens. Welcome to CS. PENTA, though, great money, great start. And it looks like maybe a stack towards B for VP.
Now look at the utility. There's just a flash here as well, so they're just going to have to grit their teeth and just try and fire their weapons once PENTA show themselves around this corner. Again, the stack's always an opportunity here. What is this? Okay. That's the veritable totem pole of grizzly bears. All right, lads. Sky-high ambitions. I like it, but you know what? pie is going to be on the face of Virtus.pro here is that he seems to be heading towards A, and Neo just gets absolutely pasted to the wall.
You hate to see it, don't you, Neo? He's been watching that angle the entire time. As soon as he looks towards the right, considers, oh, they could have got out the balcony.
Virtus.pro have worked on their routine for, you know, the cheer competition for the last 6 months. They get there, and then they were at the wrong venue. No one was there to see them. You know, they made a whole movie about it, I'm sure of it.
What was the...
all the spandex gone to waste.
What was that kind of cheerleader movie, the really famous one?
Fire Up, is it?
What is it?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. What is it? Cheerleader movie. Was it Bring It On or something?
Bring It On, Bring It On, yeah.
Bring It On. That was a great film.
I enjoyed it. You know, also,
it
also made me, it also made me feel like I could be a cheerleader. You know, there were guy cheerleaders in there, and you know.
Who would dare rate this only a 5.9 on IMDb?
Sort yourselves out.
How dare you? Kirsten Dunst is gutted. All right, she gave it her all.
It's like the movie version of a cultural anthem. Sort yourselves out.
All right, they're going hunting here. HS getting called out. Oh, there he is. And a little bit of free farm comes in and gets taken away. But yeah, any guns recovered, any damage done. It's nice for VP, but it's not really enough.
That's why Zen's doing this. Is this why making this foray down mid to make sure that doesn't actually happen. He's lucky to be alive getting around the corner, and then he turns around and finds Taz anyway. So again, Virtus.pro, it was 2 rounds they had to sit in the corner, wear the dunce cap, and now they're done with it. They're going to buy back, and they're back with a vengeance for sure. Zen has really played well today, and this is, I guess, what we were hoping to see last night. Yep. The conditions surrounding Penta's match were tough. There's no doubt about it. But now,
server conditions.
Yeah, well, server conditions, fam. Don't mess with that. But they're looking much better now, and a performance befitting the winners, of course, of the Mountain Dew League finals over the weekend.
Yeah, this is what we were all wanting to see, a little bit of, you know, what made them able to pull that off. Now, you know, this may not actually equate to them picking up the game out of this, but it's still nice to see them being a competitor. I think yesterday was a little bit flat in performance, so glad to see them able to adjust this. Now, a very easy bit of banana take here. You can see HS is a little bit curious as to those sandbags because Taz has been a consistent element there, but they're actually playing quite deep on the side at this point.
It's like the gift of the girl getting hit with the sausages, but it's bananas and it's the Penta logo. All the banana they need. But again, perhaps the more concerning side is that we've got a minute left in the round, and Virtus.pro have been able to sit on the most part of that utility to stall, and that hasn't been drawn out at all by Penta. So they might indicate a fast hit, or to attempt to force a rotation elsewhere, or just go through smokes like we've seen work for them in the past.
All a ruse, though, isn't it? You've got 3, maybe 4 smokes going up over by A as we speak. Stunny's still there, being a nuisance, but this is a B hit. Now, VP have already been playing this very, very passively, and they've read this well. Pasha already going to head over. He's going to get quickly towards Speedway. Neo's still there. And it's all on how much Sunny can do. Oh, is this a double? Yeah, Crystal's coming back. Okay, this is nice. Crystal and Innocent are both coming back. Neo's now going to head over through Library. Zen now beat... Oh my god, they're going to cut off the 2B players as well. They just have to get past Bialy. That is it. Zen finding Snacks too. He's just been unleashed. It's just Taz now holding down B. They're coming right on back. But maybe this is a mistake. They've outthought themselves here, Penta. They've got 20 seconds. They've still got 2 players. It's HS now picking up the mantle.
All right, Taz last man off the side here. Who really needs to go big or go home? And at this stage is not going to be enough. Penta roll across the top of them. And that was VP trying to buy back into this game, Lauren. I guess money doesn't solve all of your problems, does it?
4-9. And the cash has been cut off. 3K with VP. You want to keep... Ooh. Okay, buying down to about 2K. CZs, 5-7s. I don't know what to say. VP is struggling here. They're, you know, it's kind of floundering territory. The vast majority of bolstering their rounds right now was that pistol. Of course, in their back pocket, 3 rounds back-to-back. As soon as we got to the gun rounds, they've only managed 1 since they fell into this. So a little bit of a problematic half here for them. But, you know, their T side wasn't too bad when we saw them before. It was the CT side that was a real dominant issue there. You kind of theorized that, you know, against Big, maybe there could have been more if they'd been able to kind of punish that further, but it wasn't to be. Anyway, into this one we go. Again, Penta struggling to get that top banana control, but it doesn't really matter. You still only have pistols to come up against.
It's definitely an ugly start here for VP in terms of what they can bring into the round. I've got to say, Penta have been looking very on point. It's so impressive from a team that we used to really treat as a joke team in the Pro League, Lauren. Different players, to be sure, but we never really took them seriously. They never really earned that right. But now, perhaps, it's the beginning of something great. 9-4. So much damage already done, and Pasha might just have to come forward with this one here as well. Or just get cut down in the smoke. That's probably more of a tail between your legs way to finish that story, but it is what it is. And now Bialy up on that side is going to get pressure. Crystal will find him there. Pistols out for the boys. And HS finds Snacks as well. It's just Taz waiting in the wings, waiting for his chance to return to the spotlight, but he thinks against it. The jitters, too strong.
God. 4-10. This is a thing, right? I was saying at the start of this game, they can buy this round, so keep eyes on the buy. But I was saying, do you know what? It should be fine, right? Like, we saw VP yesterday. Yeah, they lost to big, but it's still VP. It's still Penta. Penta didn't look that great. There was always that thought in the back of my mind, like, but, you know, Penta did just get back from that. These two players who are meant to be, you know, quite heavy hitters, barely had a chance to warm into this. What if? You know, it's always that what if. This is only the start, it's only the first half.
Well, I think it was Chad. Chad was very much a proponent of Penta for a big improvement today.
Here we go, though. Double AWP could be a difference maker.
HS took a lot of damage from that molly that just came down. So a lot of smokes being used to quench them, and geez, he's low. The airstrikes on that banana. The things people do for a quick bite. There's 2 smokes up now. They'll be clearing in a second, and Zen and HS are going to hang around here. So we'll see how they want to use HS in this round now. The grenade thrown does very little to dissuade Snacks to come, but it's peak and he finds Zen.
So they gave him the AWP, basically, was the way around it. You can still do a lot of work with it, obviously. Ooh, that molly was a bit close there, wasn't it, Taz? Oh, has to get out of there, 5 HP, but yeah, they gave him the AWP just because you can still do... You're far more likely to get a kill even that HP than with a rifle, just because you can do 1 shot. It's time to kill, all that jazz. Just you know, listen to Steel about this one, maybe, we'll see. Double AWP still into practice, of course, with Virtus.pro. Snacks playing through the kind of side of the smoke. They're going to play out into it. Confidence is somewhat key with this man and that AWP, but we'll see. No real opportunities given yet for Penta. They're finding it hard to find a way in.
Yeah, I mean, they're up against a double AWP, but they won't know that until Pasha takes a shot, or at least they see that on him. It's the first time we've seen that from VP, whether they wanted to or not. They're just buying up now in this last round of the half. So fast play could really be the undoing here, but for Pasha, this is just what he wants. 1 by 1, it comes straight at him. Now Crystal and Innocent are playing together, and he goes for the pick. Now Pasha won't be a third, but he's done the damage. He may have done enough here as well. Innocent and Sunny now have to work this as a pincer, and half of that is done. It's just Sunny now to come over the top, and he's been spotted out. It's all but over 10-5 at the half here. Virtus.pro not finding those CT-sided rounds, Lauren.
No, but they needed that real final round there. They needed to get to 10-5 to give themselves an opportunity going to that second half. The first 3 that sat with VP again were the pistol rounds, so they need that to bolster their numbers. Gun rounds were tricky, but that second half is now imperative to their survival.
After the break, Virtus.pro try and bring it back here against a resurgent Penta. There's a lot on the line in this series, so stay tuned. And we're back on Inferno, ladies and gentlemen, and VP are looking a little bit singed. 10-5 is the halftime score for Penta. A very strong T-side showing here. Despite a few moments from VP, they've been a little bit muted in these rounds.
Yeah, this second half is so scary now for VP fans and VP themselves here. Now, I would say the VP on their T-side were, I guess, far more competent yesterday than their CT side, or at least we didn't see the same issues throughout the game. It came way closer, so there is light in the end of this tunnel, but Penta are looking a little bit different here, looking like a very different team than we saw yesterday. So I think that this is a new look that maybe we were meant to see yesterday, but we didn't get the chance to.
Well, this is just the look that we were supposed to be seeing.
Exactly. So hopefully for them, they can keep this up. It'd be nice to see, what they can actually achieve here. And well, for VP, it's still, you've got to get going pretty early here. You've got to get up and get the rounds on the board, because so far it's been a real struggle for them. They
did win, obviously, the first pistol round. I think the scoreline was something to the tune of 4-0 or 5-0 before Penta actually got started here. So to win both pistols in this map and then for things to sort of potentially go wrong for Virtus.pro would be a very damning indictment of their ability to hold these gun rounds, Lauren. That's something we need to look for. So for Penta, I mean, if we want to go by pistol round stats, they ought to win this one out and get out to a good start here. They did well to recover in that first half, despite losing that pistol round. That's what we're looking for, of course, to start things off here. And we can see that, obviously, Virtus.pro in situations where they don't have the money, we see Pasha go for that, the Mag 7. There was only one round where we saw that double CT, that CT double AWP from Virtus.pro, and it did work quite well, to be fair, for both AWPers. All these things to be considered, and also what Penta will be producing now that this is definitely going to be a bit more comfortable for Crystal to play AWP on if he so chooses.
That's a good point, actually, yeah. That'd be an interesting one to see if he actually does go for that. At this point, though, let's see what we have this round. It looks like an all-in B play from VP. One smoke on Neo, that's been put to play. Another on Bialy, but now Innocent already sees the information. Everyone's here, guys. Get all over. Zen, though, lands a blinder as well. This could still be a little bit problematic. Taz has found Zen, though, so at least there's a chance. And they're just setting the wolves towards Innocent. 2 players go hunting.
He just had to stay alive a little bit longer. He would have had a 2-player peek in towards what Virtus.pro were coming around into construction with. However, there's a 3v3 now in the retake scenario here. Eventually, Penta are going to have to pull the trigger. Pasha wants to play up close here, and Sunny Bob's on his own. He had snacks there. That's a really nice setup to do, especially mid to late round. And that could be real struggle town. Now it's up to individual brilliance for Crystal. Has no armor to speak of. The head of Stacks goes rolling, though. It's just the one. It's going to have to do for now. It's all on HS. He knows where Taz is. He's seen him poke around, but there's a player behind him. And it's the rope-a-dope for Virtus.pro. The bait and switch, and Pasha finds they kill both pistol rounds, one in this map.
And it was so nicely done. You could see how aggressive they were. They weren't even allowing a chance of a retake. They were confident. Both of the players wanted to secure coffins, so 2 of them pushed up towards that ruin entrance, and they held it. They didn't allow the play back in. So nicely done from VP, stabilizing the scoreline somewhat as well. Now, the buyback in from Penta is light, but it's enough that they can maybe do a bit of damage. 2 rifles invested, 4 Virtus.pro, 3 SMGs there, and the UMPs, of course, to be the choice.
Big old B stack here for Penta. And Sunny is the scout. Oh, God, you got to love those,
Marshall,
really.
What are you doing?
Oh, he's giving that away to Sunny there. Who expects that kind of peak? I mean, it is, I guess, a pistol force round for Penta. Virtus.pro just a little bit slack there.
You can see the gun from that spot. Like, you're one of the players with the rifle. I guess you're meant to be a little bit more. I don't know. That's a little bit unfortunate.
And with Innocent as far down Banana as he was, he got the information now to provoke a rotate back for Penta, so they can actually have players at this side instead of just Sunny on his own. So far looking good. Oh, the deagle comes through from HS. Virtus.pro cannot afford to let things drop here. They won the pistol. This is their ticket to closing the gap, giving them a buffer.
That looked like the Source Deagle. I swear he was still running when he was doing that. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the Deagle at the moment. I think it's one of the more balanced pistols out there, but that was a little bit spicy. All right, so there's still that double stack towards Pit, which is quite deadly, but they do only have pistols. They're not checking it. That smoke doesn't cover everything. There's good damage being done, and there's still Sunny here being patient. Innocent en route and HS doing the same. Neo securing top mid. He's been watching for that push-up, gets the kill. Innocent now down. Sunny looks for the play back in, but it looks like VP are being very mindful of Pit, and maybe not mindful enough. Sunny's been given 2 big opportunities. Oh, HS finds snacks.
I'm done. I can't believe this.
It's Neo. He
42.
can save it.
He's just going to have to explode in on towards his side now. There's a molly in his way. He can't get around it. He has to take the damage. And Penta turn it around. Just dastardly situation. It's a nightmare for Virtus.pro. And the Deagles come up trumps this time around. Penta break back on the pistol force. And Virtus.pro, the egg is on your face, gents.
Yeah, it's certainly not all sunshine and rainbows here. Sunny, look at this start. Pashal's just so unaware. I don't know if he didn't realize he could be seen from there, from top mid, but your gun shows and your whole player model shows. You could see the headshot. He just took his time. He was like, great, this is nice. But it was HS who did that kind of crazy shot that was just, it didn't look like it should have hit. If I was VP, I would be tilted that shot came through. Like, a moving Deagle is just dirty. So, anyway, he might have actually, been able to stand still for a second and get that shot off, but that looked, right on the cusp of it. Anyway, money is now depleted for VP. They need to suffer through this round. Any damage they've done is a benefit. Any plant, brilliant.
Don't see this often anymore. Sorry, I mean, we don't see that much these days. That really aggressive peak actually down towards the staircase in apartments there. Nice to see it. And this is probably going to be a rough one here for VP. You can see how low they are. Snacks is hoping to get in and just try and be a wrecking ball here. But Crystal's going to be able to back HS up pretty comfortably. Neo and Bialy can wrap here, but Pasha's being kept away from Banana completely because of smoke in mid. So now for Neo and Bialy, the question is, do we turn back around? Do we come back to A? What do you do about this?
You give him time. Pasha can't move. Zen's locking him down. It's done. He can maybe go back towards T spawning and maybe look towards second mid. But you're going to give these guys time to play. Innocent's now found him. Pasha's chances have just gone from maybe like 5% to pretty much 0 here. Block to hand, not going to get it done this time. Zen is there and diligently watching. And you blink and you look at that scoreline and it's not good. 12-6 here. And to remind you of the map pool, I'm pretty sure we'll be on to Train next. And then Mirage if required. Now, I know Train does sit well with Penta in their record again. But you know,
it was not great last night.
No, it wasn't. That was the big thing. It was very, very lackluster. I think that was the biggest kind of downfall. We didn't see those players turn up. So again, it looks like a new version of Penta, but still, that's on the horizon. It's not over yet. It's still 12-6 though. But that nade! Oh!
There was two, I think, thrown down mid.
Yeah.
That is definitely going to shatter you a little bit here as well. Virtus.pro shaken, but not out of this now. Tentatively inch their way up the middle of the map here. They really don't want to run into any more dastardly traps. Now, this is fairly aggressive by Crystal, given that he actually gave up this position already.
Where are you, Crystal? Well, you're just sat in the middle of no man's land there. There's no you can back to. You're just right out. Maybe hoping they had walked up. Sunny, though, uses that team flash well. It kind of comes through from down towards Pitney. He does the favor right back to him. And there you go. HS makes the most of it. Really nice team play between the two. You can see Pasha there was isolated. Couldn't help out Snacks. The flash worked out really well from Sunny. Nice angle, though, found by Pasha. Not sure if he's going to get a follow-up here, though. 3 players remain. Bomb duly noted by Penta.
Pasha, a man with very limited options and so much to lose in the rest of his team right now, especially in a round like this one. I don't really need to explain that any further, but for VP, they spent bank on this round to try and stop Penta, and it's not worked well at all. And Penta have covered each other so well with his crossfires on the A side. Really hard to take issue with them, except for Crystal going a little bit maverick, a little bit rogue, but you had to expect that from a player like him. He's been doing it, well, since 2008.
Pasha might be just on the save this time. Off we go. Yeah, time to keep control of it. And look at that scoreboard. The thing is, you look at Penta and everyone's delivering someone. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got 12 kills on Innocent, but that's fine. He's holding his own. It does feel a little bit like no one's really providing much for VP at the moment. You've got Snacks doing okay, but still, that was a lot of the AWP coming through, and it's just a little bit of a shame.
Yeah. Pasha, they're taking out maybe some of his frustration on some of the fittings. Better to do it in game than in real life, I'm sure. Money, not good for VP. This is really average, 2750 being the most here for Taz. There's an AK in for Pasha. So now I'm really interested to see how they sort of support this weapon that was saved in from that prior round. Mind you, that Pasha really doesn't have much to work with.
Bialy just brought down to like 1.7. That's...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he has. Okay. Pasha brought down to 150. Yeah, it's going to be awkward.
Yeah, they need to get guns away. They need to do something to make a bit of an impact. They'll be fine for money down the line, but they don't have that many rounds left. It's 13-6. All right, play towards B. Look how passive Penta is setting up here as well. You got Zen over by Nubox, and then Instant playing off angle by Coffins. Now they've got a couple of smokes, but it looks like they want to get quite close before they kind of give away the game. Innocent, yeah, that's the kind of angle I'm talking about. You've got to be careful though. Does find contact, flash comes in, now the kind of explosion comes out from Virtus.pro. They want to get that side fast. Zen, though, well aware. Nice positioning, lands the shots, doesn't get kind of overwhelmed, and finally Innocent comes out to support in the final. Well played there through from Zen and Innocent. Good crossfire, not panicking, and yeah, this is getting scary.
Yep. The round loss at least is there. Pasha was the one obviously brought down to only 150 odd, so he's not going to be well brought up. The rest of them had about 2K, so that's fine. It's the best you can hope for here for Virtus.pro. And you have to go for this. You have to force up whatever you possibly can, and they have done so. Losing this round, I mean, they might be able to scrabble some UMPs together in the next, but that's going to be about it at this stage. Plenty of utility, UMP for Pasha, no real loss there. Potentially on this map, we've seen him be more effective with the Mag 7 anyway. And a slow start. Spread up over the mid and second mid side for Virtus.pro. No presence in towards Banana, and this has meant no utility required to be used for Penta to take control. In fact, none of that has been forced out yet. Good patience for Crystal to hold that molly here.
I wonder if we're going to see the smokes that we saw before.
Oh, the nice line of smokes towards Pit.
Yeah, maybe. They're not quite there. Spot for it, but that's a shame. That'd been quite a cool little thing to see if it actually came back through, but it's what it is. Innocent actually playing a little bit more of an attentive play, or I guess position, over by Banana. 2 players down the bottom there, sprays it in. Gotta be careful, that's...
Maybe could have gone a second early before the smoke plumed and actually had to dig at it, but
yep.
It's funny. You should be able to get away comfortably enough. 50 seconds in the round here. VP with 4 players grouped up here towards Banana. Bialko will remain over towards...
Who, Biawi?
Biawi. Calls him that.
Mad.
Oh, God. So 2 players. There's only Zen and Innocent here at B, so no early rotations to speak of for Penta. So this is Virtus.pro doing what they do best and, you know, keeping you confused about where they are over the map. And now the Raps come through. Bialy sneaks through. He gets away with murder.
Oh, Sunny Jim, what's going on here? You're having a bit of a mare. Bialy's been let loose. Now Innocent's pretty much shitting it. Like, look at this guy. He's just like, where can I go? This is that
mission in the video game we have to hold off against waves of zombies, except this time it's angry, like, grumpy, grizzled poles for as long as you possibly can. Zen, oh, it's not a good position at all, and this is far better from Virtus.pro. They played the map well. Time is ticking down. They need to get a plant somewhere along the line. They can't get sprayed down. There needs to be a plant here.
Taz?
There's one off in the corner. Taz needs to make this one happen here. Desperate. He gets it down just in time, but now the 1v1. Virtus.pro collapse in the meantime, and it's Sunny v Taz with 3 kills to his name already, and Taz is in the corner. Sunny should damn well know where he is right now. He has the time, he has the kit. It's time to make a move. He knows that Taz must be in the back of the... And this is going to be a clench your butt and go for a kind of play. The spot comes in and Sunny's done it. Virtus.pro can't keep themselves alive in this one. It's going to be match point coming up for Penta. And there's nothing the Poles can do about it.
Can you believe it, Mitch? This scoreline. Oh, dearie me. 15-6. Sunny making all the difference there in the end. The time running so low.
Virtus.pro panicked as well. They lost so many players in trying to set up that
throwing
plant.
Bodies at it to allow that plant to come through. Taz trying to hold that deep off angle to force Sunny to swing into it, but no timeouts either, guys. Which, you know, they're just going straight through this. Right, it's 15-6. This could be the final round. We've got the AWP up on Crystal, and a decent buy coming out for Virtus.pro. So there is real option here, but if Crystal lands this one, and... he's gone back for it. He's gone back for it.
Who else but Crystal to repeat that? My God.
Oh, he's feeling it. If you start feeling confident, you start, you know, we're up with 15-6. Let's go. He's everywhere on the map right now. He's over in apartments now. The guy, all right, we were talking about his AWPing. His movement's not bad either. Keep your eyes on that one, on Train especially, which is going to be coming up next, no matter what the scoreline is here. It is still a best of 3, as we are in relegation. VP unallowed to step towards Banana as we speak. Locked out, Innocent push all the way down.
Yeah, 6 set up actually for Penta in a round that they really want to win. This is how you really get an ironclad grasp on the map. Smoke's top mid as well, so you really limit the options for Virtus.pro here. Now, Crystal can work with Sunny over on this arch side as well. That would be quite a devastating combination. HS can just stay quiet on the A side for the moment. This is where the risk does start to manifest here for Penta. They've got players that are committed to Banana. The one over on the left, that's Innocent there. So he needs to win this duel out. He needs a bit more. He needs Zen to back him up, and he's going to be there. Zen sprays down. Not too bad. They trade 2 for 2, but there's time for Crystal to rotate to B, and Sunny and HS will also need to go there soon. A 3v2 favors Penta.
Let's see what Crystal can do. They're not going to go for this. Where are they off to? They're going to do the boost. That's nice. But there's still Crystal. He's still thinking, where are these guys? All right, Molly comes in. That hits. They know he's there now. Has to fall off the angle. Bomb goes in. Bialy could be given a chance here. This is a very weird position. No, you don't. Crystal goes down. Snacks gets called out. And it's a 1v2. It's on Bialy now.
He's off the boost as well. He needs to challenge both these players. Sunny could have gone for the peak then, but he doesn't. The kit's there. Tries to go for a bit of a nade, and this could be quite risky now. It's the 1 versus 1 again. Sunny in a position to close things out here. Bialy needs to keep his team alive. He's often the mastermind. The head's been spotted out. There's not much you can do there. He tried to go for the full defuse, and Bialy cuts him short. Virtus.pro, a lifeline in this game, but look at the money. It's still not very good.
No, it's borderline. They can get a buy. It's going to be kind of shifting, you know, bits around, but they'll be okay in the end. AWP can come back out. I think it has to be dropped over towards Crystal at this point. We'll see how they utilize this one. Ooh, Sunny's got the spawn, so he's going to take it. That'll probably be switched out to Crystal in a moment's time. He's going to be just behind him, but if you've got the spawn, go for the shot. Why not? He's feeling it. Here we go. Straight down. Spots one. Can't land it. But he can call over. It's going to be a B hit. Be aware. We see nothing else yet. I've seen at least 2 people cross. Now the call comes through, and they're going to be aware of it. Look at those mollies coming in, and look at the early damage going out towards VP. Oh, Stacks! So low, 8 HP.
I don't know if that's worthwhile at all. That you've really gained very little ground of the grand scheme of things, and he couldn't catch anyone out at sandbags. It could have been a well-placed risk if they could have got a kill for that, but now they're just super low. And here comes a stall.
Look at this. Look at this positioning. There's 3 people facing here. Like that's not
that camera
think
angle.
About Cobble,
Thank you.
Like VP used to do this on Cobble on pistol rounds. They used to do it in middle. They'd push up and then do this sort of stuff. But Sonny, he's just pushed through the smoke. He spotted them all out. He still knows where they are. At least spotting out 2 is information enough. That can mean that Crystal feels a little bit better about rotating. But there's still a problem that they can rotate out of this. They don't have to commit, but they don't know what's been now gathered by Penta. They don't know if there's mid control passed over, if second mid's safe. Neo and Bialy gonna have to check that pretty quickly as well and just make a guess, make an educated guess here.
VP need more. Crystal made an early rotation, actually. Very clever by him. He had no real reason to think that it would be towards A, except maybe the sound of footsteps, but he's there anyway to back up HS. HS, who himself is prepared in an anti-flash position over on A.
Crystal has read this so well. Look at that position. He spots another. Shoulder peek works out for him. He always wants to fight back in on these angles. He's such an aggressive AWPer, but Neo slipped through the kind of nets, I guess, and he does find him. Now look at the HP, though. Pasha 12, Snacks 8. It's still a threat. And HS's position, it's a pretty tough one to check on. It's a very late commitment. So now we're going to see what they can work out here. Innocent finding Neo means this is very much up in the air, and HS is the final raid boss, and of course he's got a UMP, and this might be it. This could be it. Look at the time as well. There it goes. HS closes down. Map 1 goes to Penta.
You didn't hear that. I cannot believe it. Penta has started off in such a big way, and Virtus.pro continue to look all sorts of average. Let's head over the desk now to get a little bit more of a, I don't know, a academic angle on what we just saw go down in this match.
Mighty uncomfortable with everything that just occurred. Chad, what's the Aussie word for uncomfortable, or just like, you know, general, just creepy feeling, weird feeling?
You just hate to see it.
You guys have funny sayings for things. There's a bus and a half. Why not? Thanks, Chad. Anyways, yeah, you do hate to see it.
You make us sound like we don't even speak English.
I mean, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes we don't, but you know who looked like they weren't playing very good Counter-Strike in that first half, Hank? It was Penta who were throwing these really weird smokes that weren't actually covering off the choke points and then still winning rounds. And I'm sitting there thinking, how is this possibly happening?
Yeah, I'm lost for words right now. VP, just to know as well, they win both pistols there. They got a 3-0 start in the first half.
Yeah.
End up getting like, what, 5 rounds in total? Then
yeah.
it's just horrible right now. This is just not the team we're used to seeing. I can't really describe to you. Like you said, Penta weren't exactly playing sound CS by any stretch of the imagination. There were a lot of mistakes made by them as well. Some great rounds in general. I guess like some of them were really good, but some really poor ones as well. VP just couldn't capitalize on the mistakes they were making. Same story once again. Every time they won a single gun round, which is all they got in the first half, completely shut down. Money was a disarray at that point, fully shut down, double ecos all over the place. It was just a mess.
I mean, you said it, Chad, yesterday that you liked the T-side that you saw to them on Inferno, but at the end of this one, it was just kind of like, what's happening here? Like, was that just like kind of the giving up phase where they're down 15-6 and they're just like, this isn't going to happen?
I'm not sure. It didn't seem like Penta were playing the same way that Big were playing. They were very reserved on the bomb sites. They weren't really poking and prodding as much as what Penta were doing. Crystal's taking Jules down mid with the AWP, right, which is risky on the CT side for sure, because if the Ts have an AWP or if they're set up, they could even just, one-tap you with an AK. But they were confident in taking those fights. Like that round where we saw Sunny just then, they stacked 3 towards the B site. He pushed out through the smoke for information, found a frag. They weren't afraid of VP, right? They're not just like, hey, we're going to respect you because you're VP. You're setting up for a strat. We're going to ruin that strat. And you can see right there, when they did it, they tried to still fake B, sent 2 guys up mid, but the B fake did nothing because the rotation had already come in. They established that it wasn't a hit. They still had all the vision, I suppose, and then they rotated back and they had 2 at each site. Crystal, like, continuously re-peeking from library is probably not necessary in that situation.
What I liked from Penta, though, is it was something we didn't see from VP yesterday. On the CT side, like you said, when they can feel the executions coming, they're pushing through the top of banana and actually shutting down 1 kill just to kind of thwart any tactic or an execution VP had in mind to find that 1 kill, throw a spanner in the works, and you can see VP, like we said, it seemed like out of their depth at that point. After they lost that first kill, they had no nades left, they had low HP, everyone got battered at nades at the start of the rounds. It was just really difficult for VP. Like, even when they got a break, when they got the first 2 kills in a round, you remember that one as Sunny comes pincering in from banana and CD spawners as well, comes down to a situation they just about get the bomb down, Taz can't win the 1v1, just every chance they had completely shut down. That
T side, they did a lot of 4-1s like you were talking about, and it shouldn't have necessarily been rounds that they were winning, because there were certain situations where VP was set up in strong holds, right? They just weren't hitting the frags. It looked like VP were missing shots that they should be hitting, and Penta were winning clutches they shouldn't have had any business being in, right? Like that 1v3 from Zen early on with the 1v1 with Taz. And that was kind of unfortunate for Taz because he didn't know where Zen was going to be, right? He could have been in Ruins, he could have been pushing around through CT, or he could have been Banana, smoked the bomb. And then he kind of moved a bit too far away from the smoke, and Zen jumped over the top. So that was just kind of awkward.
That's when they had the 3-0 as well. And there was a force buy in the second round from Penta. So they went into that round with I think 1 AK and then P250s, and they end up winning the round with Zen getting 4 kills in total. So he gets that bomb down, like you said, Taz smokes it, but that was the beginning of the end. Like, they didn't really get anything going at all in that first half once that happened.
Let's do, because, I mean, remember, like yesterday, we're going to throw to a break. It's going straight to caster. So let's touch on Train a little bit. This has got to be a map that if you're Virtus.pro going into it to survive.
This is their stomping ground, isn't it? This is what I said yesterday with Big. That was the third map yesterday. I said if it gets to Train, they should be comfortable. I don't see any of these teams going toe-to-toe with a team like Virtus.pro on Train. Like we said, one of their hallmarks in terms of a team, they kind of defined how the map should be played, especially on the T side, with a mixture of nice defaults, fast, aggressive play towards outside. Famously, Pasha likes to lurk towards the Ivy area. He'll be mixing up as well. They like to double AWP on the T side. They've been very innovative on this map in general. So we're hoping, surely, this is going to be theirs. But from what we've seen the last couple of days, it's really difficult to have any sort of hope, you know?
So this would be considered, if you were just a stats man, this would be considered Penta's third best map. Their best map is either Inferno or Cobblestone, which they're undefeated on with this team. And then it is Train, which they have a 75% win rate on, which they have 12 wins and 4 losses. Obviously against lesser opponents, but it's like they're comfortable on, right?
Just a note as well, this is going to be Penta starting on the CT side, right? Because Virtus.pro just started CT then. So they're getting the first map victory, then going on to Train as well against a weakened VP. Confidence for sure, and they're on the CT side, which is probably the most CT biased map we have in the entire pool right now. So if they win the pistol here and get that same momentum built up, this could be another 2-0.
Well, maybe one of the hopes if you're a VP fan. I mean, they have given a couple interviews where they feel Train is a little bit more T-sided than people give it credit these days. And then they're a team that historically has always gotten a decent amount of work done on the T side of Train. We haven't done this all season. I do just want to do it really quick. Does Virtus.pro get eliminated on this map? If we're going to do predictions, is VP winning Train?
I would say yes. At this point, you'd hope so. Just if that Counter-Strike fan inside me just don't want to see it go down like this.
Fairies just died all around the earth.
I hope so.
The little CGS players inside both of you?
They went in the CGS.
Okay.
Come on, Jason. I hope they don't lose. I'm not going to give you a prediction.
You're just rebellious these days, aren't you?
But if we look at it, the way that Zen and Sunny performed today compared to yesterday is leaps and bounds. You know, Zen was the best player today in that first map. Yesterday he was the worst player.
They've gotten some rest, spent some time off the airplanes.
But do you notice like the way that they take duels and stuff? Like it's not fundamentally sound Counter-Strike in any means. It's just people being good. Like it's hitting like lots of shots and being aggressive and kind of catching VP players off guard in transition.
There wasn't anything that impressive in terms of wow. Like when we watched Big yesterday, it was like wow, look at these crazy executions, these fakes going in. They really kind of wets down on them. This time it was just duels and controlling the economy, just kind of basically good Counter-Strike overall.
Yeah, the thing that scares me, right, is even if VP have a solid T half, you know, let's say they get 5 or 6 rounds, I mean, something like that, they should be really happy with. This 4-1 style means they're going to be isolating inside. They're going to be isolating Ivy. And that's where Taz and Pasha have been playing. Pasha yesterday, he didn't look too bad. But it's not that Taz, I feel, is being caught out of position or whatever. I just think that because he's the solo guy, if you're 4-1ing, it's very difficult to stop unless you're willing to transition over and do a 2-2, which VP have been known for. It just if they're going to start with that, or if they're going to transition to that later, it might be too late by that point because they have started on the T side.
Will be interesting to find out, and we are going to find out after the break. So stay tuned. Virtus.pro, 1 map away from being relegated to ESL Premier.